The Dognuttery continues. Welcome back to another Worthless Mutt Squatter Dog Butcher, back again to shine the light. Uh, I am a big movie guy, a big MCU, Marvel, DC superhero guy, and I am just baffled. Many times I don't even have to look for dog content. I'm not looking for it. I'm not in the process of looking for anything that has to do with dogs. And sometimes a lot of these this dog nuttery, it comes to me when I'm not seeking for it. When I'm trying to stay away from it, it comes to me. And even in my, movies, in my Marvel, in my MCU or MCU, I should say, um, it's gonna have a worthless mutt in the movie. And in the comics, Deadpool apparently has a dog that looks like this. So how did this become this? This somehow became this. Yes, I wish there were no dogs in this movie, but the bigger and better question is, how did something like this kind of mutant, speaking of mutant, as we're talking about Deadpool, and Deadpool's like part of the X-Men universe, how did this mutant become this mutant? The mutant, we're talking about, it's so funny how we're talking about Deadpool, who's part of the X-Men universe, and the X-Men universe is about mutants, and here we have a mutant, a real live mutant. And how did this become this, or this become this? And here we have Deadpool. Let's talk. Let's in a perception of this guy is a superhero perception. And here we have Deadpool getting licked by a worthless mutt. And luckily enough, this guy has a healing factor to prevent him from pretty much any kinds of attacks. This guy could be chopped down to ash and he can still recuperate. And lucky enough, with this dog saliva, it can burn his face off, rip his face off, amputate his limbs, and he'll be just fine days later. But that cannot be said for a lot of these dog nut owners who allow their worthless mutts to slobber on them, where they'll call it kisses, they'll call it love. The next thing you know, they have their limbs amputated because their worthless mutt gave them kisses. And in the MCU, it's becoming filled with dog nuttery, and probably all in Marvel in general, probably always has been filled with dog nuttery. And I may not have noticed, which is good. That means they weren't pushing the dog narrative. They weren't pushing the dog propaganda until recently. And now in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie, they had a worthless mutt. This stupid mutt appeared in the first one, but it was more prominent in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Going backwards, again, in the Inhumans, a failed show, I wonder why, also had a worthless mutt in it. It had this disgusting worthless mutt. And again, you talk about Inhumans. And inhuman is something that's like, what it means is, let's search it up. In my words, inhumans means like, out of the ordinary. Something that's like different. Oh my God. Something that's highly different. Inhuman, it says lacking of human qualities of compassion, mercy, cruel, and barbaric. This term, I'm looking at it on Google, Oxford, this this perfectly describes dogs. And here we have a dog as an inhuman. And again, it says lacking human qualities of compassion and mercy, cruel and barbaric. Similar words are cruel, harsh, inhumane, brutal, callous, sadistic, severe. All that can be placed on any and every worthless mutt. There's just a few things that I noticed, but it's really the stupid dog that's going to be in Deadpool. And if I don't know if you've noticed a lot, there's been a lot of dogs in movies, and the newer TV shows. Can't remember on the top of my head, but I know I've seen a few new stuff, and again, dogs, 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 dogs. Yeah, Gore Dog Butcher with another worthless mutts, and remember, it is okay to hate dogs. And remember,